Yeah.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgression, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I want to welcome you to the Lion's Den this morning. Yes, it's a beautiful Thursday, y'all. Can you believe it's Thursday already? It is Thursday, April the 14th in the year 2022, and I'm so glad to have you here with me. Listen, it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. Now let's get this party started and let's get this party crack-a-lacking, because you know how we do it in here. We like to come in and get things rocking and rolling. And listen, it's a marvelous and a wonderful Thursday. It's a thankful, thriving Thursday. Let's do this. We always start, you know how we do it, over there in the VIP section. And I tell you, this VIP section is active, y'all. This VIP section is active. So let's look and see what we got going on here. Well, first and foremost, Miss Fabulous was the fourth one in the VIP section this morning, and I want to appreciate you so much for your ushering duties. Yes. Thank you for the ushers. The ushers are in the house, and they were on time this morning. Now, when the ushers got there, we already had 3 folks inhabiting the VIP section of the Lion's Den, and the third person to get in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than DJ Onyx Heart. DJ Onyx Heart, you did that, sir. Come on in here and get on that love seat. Come on and have a seat. Now, you know, I'm going to need you to send me a pic. Yes, I'm going to need you to send me a picture because I don't have a picture of you, my brother, and I'll be so happy to put it up. But one more time for my baby, the DJ Onyx Heart. And you brought your coffee with you as well. You brought coffee for everyone. Come on in here with your 20 cups. I'm so happy for you. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning, and she came in confessing, y'all. She came in confessing. She said she was trying to have some act right, but the mother had to climb through the side window. That's what she said. But she got in there. And so the second person in the Lion's Den and the first runner-up to Grandpa Holmes's chair, none other than BTD Mom. BTD Mom, you did that. You are the most confessing sister I've ever seen in my life. She comes in confessing and telling, and listen, don't tell nobody, but she usually tells on everybody else. And all the information and the intel that I get about what happened in the Lion's Den before I got there, she might be the one that's telling me. Okay, you didn't hear from me, though. You didn't hear from me. You didn't hear from me. Nonetheless, as we come in, and the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair is none other than Shelly Thunder. Shelly Thunder, you did that thing, girl. You did it. Put pictures up. I forgot to put pictures up, y'all. Okay, let me back on up here. Let me back on up here. Let me get my pictures going, y'all. Okay, there we go. All right, now that's Anita Harvey. She's the one that came in confessing. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair is Shelly. You did that, baby. You did that. Get your lips, hips, and your fingertips right on up in Grandpa Holmes's chair. Now, come on, I gotta do it one more time. I'm slow this morning. My brain is moving a little bit slower than the rest of everything else. There we go. I gotta get your accolades up there. Congratulations to you, Shelly. Congratulations to you. You did it. Your hips, your fingertips. Not in that chair this morning. Congratulations to you. Now, whew, I feel like I really worked out. I had a workout right there, y'all. I had a workout. I'm moving kind of slow. I'm like Uncle Joe. I'm moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Anyway, let me come on up here and let's get that mod love going. Let's get that mod love. Did y'all hear me whispering? Could y'all understand what I said when I was whispering? Because I just want to say, the Rebel Inc. had a party last night for Pink Assassins. Yes, Pink Assassins. We celebrated her birthday on yesterday, and baby, they rolled that thing up in there. They had a song that I had to turn my miracle ear on. Yes, I had to turn on my miracle ear. It's called the Whisper Song, and they whispered the whole song. I said, the saints can't hear what these cheering are saying. I had to turn my miracle ear all the way up to 100 to be able to hear that song. Nonetheless, Shelly Thunder, listen, you know that's one of my moderators. I appreciate it and I love her. She's in the Lion's Den, y'all, this morning. She's in the Lion's Den, and I appreciate you for taking care of the house. Yes, and as I said, you know, we are led, and that Rebel Inc., you know, the Rebel, she just, I don't know what to say. I don't know what all I can say about the Rebel Inc. She's all that in a bag of chips. She had that part. Yes, Tall Pumps, I had to turn the miracle ear. I said, they was whispering all through the whole song. The whole entire song, Tall Pumps. They were saying things that I can't repeat, but they whispered all of it. My miracle ear had to go on 100 so I could just enjoy that song. Now, the Rebel Inc., as I said, listen, if you want a party that's second to none, if you want to have a party where you can really kick it and turn it up, You want the Rebel Inc. to host it for you, like she did on last night for Pink Assassins. It was an awesome party. It was an awesome stream, Rebel. We just had a great time in the House of Rebel. Again, if you're not following her, I need you to quit your wicked ways. Go over there and I need you to follow the Rebel Inc. Now, the third part of our mod team is none other than Michelle Brownell. Yes, Michelle Brownell. I call her my quiet storm. She changes the atmosphere just by walking in. Baby, I saw him. Listen, Shelly Thunder, Michelle Brownell, baby, I saw going around in circles. You know, Lexi said it's like your hips are fighting. It's like your hips are fighting, and they wrestling. They just wrestling and fighting, and they just going. Yeah, that's what Lexi said. But them hips was doing all of that last night. I saw them. They was throwing it around in circles. That baby, they did everything in there. I saw so much twerking, I was dizzy. But baby, we had a good time in the Lion's Den. Even the thunderclap was, I said, you know what? These babies are doing they good twerking up in here tonight. But it was a good night. And you know that's the way we do it in the Rebels house. As they had a good chance to play some bangos. Listen, they had bangos. And if you ain't never been in Rebels when they play bangos, baby, you're living beneath your privilege. And let me tell you, and when you get the opportunity to win a game, none other than Crazy Berrytown. Baby, Crazy Berrytown has the best gifts in the world. The best gifts anywhere. I'm telling you, she gives out gifts you never heard of before. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard the gifts that Crazy Berrytown gives the winner of Bangos. So now as we move this thing on, I appreciate y'all this morning. Love you so much. And listen, go ahead and get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Now, I got some praises going. Listen, y'all over here, y'all got me cracking up. I'm looking at this chat over here going on in my left eye, not right eye, but left eye. In my left eye, I'm checking out what you all are saying. Get those coffee cups out, y'all, because I'm gonna come through and I want to say good morning to everybody. BTD Mama, I see you. DJ Onyx Heart, I see a child, the mother can't talk. I think I'm still hungover from that party. Stacy 546, I see you. Come on in here. The Rebel Inc., I see you. Shelly Thunder, I see you. You was doing that. Listen, I was in there 5 minutes. You talking about your body is broken, Shelly Thunder? I was in there less than 5 minutes and I was trying to twerk to all of that Rebel had. And in less than 5 minutes, my back went out. Yes, my back went out, Shelly. So I understand it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. Kim Possible 7, I saw the pastor. Kim Possible 7-Eleven. It was reported to me. Kim Possible 7. The pastor was in the club. And not only was that, now don't tell me how I knew the pastor was in the club. I'm just reporting to you. Look at that coming all across my screen. The pastor, the Kim Possible 7-Eleven made it possible to twerk. I mean, mother, her lips and her hips and her fingertips was doing all kinds of things in that party last night. And I'm not going to listen, you didn't hear it from me though. Now, Cooking Mama 37, come on in here. We're so glad to have you this morning. And I'm so glad that the surgery went well. Y'all better, The surgery went well, y'all. Did you understand the victory report? The surgery went well, and that's all I needed to hear, because baby, we prayed for you. Somebody prayed for you. We had you on our minds, and we took the time, and we prayed for you, mother. So I'm so glad that surgery went well. And listen. At the same time, let me tell you, Twana's Twitch went home. coming in here this morning. And listen, Cooking Mama 37, thank you for that testimony and thank you for that praise report. And I want to thank you for your steadfastness. And even for those out there that prayed, I appreciate every last one of y'all that prayed. Because listen, the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous avails. Y'all better ask somebody. I see you out there, BTD Mom. Mel Holiday, I see you. Lovey 54, I see you. Come on, that's the way we come in the Lions Den. Hood morning to Tall Pumps, and she's pumping tall. I see you. I'm coming on up and I see Truck Driver. That's my Mufasa. That's my Lion King. He's in the house this morning. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. We love you so much, sir. Now I'm coming on up and I don't want to miss anybody. I want to get everybody. Stacy 546, I see you. These are the most beautiful people in the world. I just want you to know. Mel Holiday came in early with wine cups, baby. All 3 of her glasses of wine were ready for this morning. You better ask somebody. Now I'm coming on up because I don't want to miss anybody that's in the Lion's Den this morning. King Coogee in the house, y'all. That's my sire. That's my brother and that's my friend. I appreciate you, sir. All the time I see you in the Lion's Den, it just makes me feel real nice. It just makes me feel real good. And I always have to stop and say just a little bit extra about Coogee because listen, brother been rolling with me and rocking with me almost since day one. That's my guy right there. That's the King Coogee, and he is a streamer. If you're not following him, please go out there and follow you some King Coogee. I love you, man. Now coming on up, and I want to make sure that we got everybody that's in the house this morning. This is a lovely setting already, and I appreciate every last one of you that are here. Now, as I said, I'm coming on up and I'm looking, but as I said, praise reports all over the place because yes, Twanna's Twitch was released and able to go home on yesterday. So again, I appreciate all the prayers that were going up in the house. Now I'm gonna come on down and see if anybody came in, if anybody snuck in the door while I was going up, if anybody came through the basement door. Let me come down here and check and look if anybody came in the basement. Now I love every last one of you. This is my time of the morning to just say thank you so much to everybody that comes and spends your time here in the Lion's Den so early in the morning. I know it's kind of early. And for those that are on Pacific time, and we do have some out there on Pacific time that are coming in here. I see y'all picking them up and putting them down. Come on, Rebel. Come on, Shelly. Come on, Onyx. Come on, Stacy. Come on, Lovey. Come on, Tall Pumps. Come on, BTT Mom. I done got here. And this brother done said it's time for the polls to come out. Now, we in here trying to give the Lord a good glory and a good clap offering. And y'all still on the polls. Y'all still on the polls. Y'all just won't come down. Y'all said I'm doing a good work and I can't come down. You just refuse to come off of the polls. Lord Jesus, y'all refuse to give the poll ministry up. So I know without a doubt when I said poll, I know who said yes, the poll, BTB Mom, the poll. I was looking for Tall Pumps. Tall Pumps, where you at, girl? I said poll. Let me stop for a second. I said poll. Tall Pumps, you didn't hear me? I said poll. Tall Pumps still ain't reported for me. She's supposed to be busy, y'all. Anyhow, there she is. I know BTD Mom, that poor baby. That poor baby just just knock them down. Just knock them over. That's what they did impossible. They just knocked that baby over. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm trying to tell you, that's what happened to that poor little precious baby. Mama never stopped swinging. That's the thing that takes me out every time. Mama just kept right on swinging. So Lord Jesus today, I just don't know what to say. Now, okay, Tall Pumps, I was wondering, you were feeling so guilty because you knocked over. Ooh, you were feeling guilty because you knocked over the baby. Well, listen, let me tell you what. let me tell you what, I really felt like this is some of what was going on with you. I was wondering what in the world, Tall Pumps ain't reporting for duty. What's really going on here? So, at the end of the day, I'm not sure if that wasn't what was going on, Tall Pumps. I thought you had retired and that was you trying to get up to the pole. It was taking you just a little longer to get there. Yes, we got the retirement pole, babies. We got the retirement pole. And the retirement pole, listen, Vintage Sugar isn't here. She's not here yet, DJ Onyx Heart, but I'm sure she'll be on the way. Yeah, Stacy, she just kept going like, you messed up my routine. Shelly Thunder, she knocked that baby over and kept going. Do you understand what I'm saying, y'all? Do you understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, to all of my posters in here, good morning, and good morning to you. Now let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Let's get this party started. Because listen, there's a few things we're going to talk about on today, y'all. It's a few things we're going to... Tall Pumps, listen. Tall Pump said it's Myrtle and Patsy and part. Not Myrtle. Oh, she said Myrtle and Patsy. Top Pumps, you need Jesus. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me recompose myself, y'all, because Top Pumps ain't right. Top Pumps, you need Jesus. Oh, that was a good one. Y'all took me out with that. Now listen, before we go on to there, let me just deal with this a little bit, y'all, because at the end of the day, I got to promo my babies that are coming out tomorrow. If you will join us, I want you to know we got Good Grief on tomorrow. We got Good Grief at 12 noon Central Time. I want to invite all of you. We have a journey, a healing and healthy journey through grief every Friday at 12 o'clock. Even as we were talking on yesterday about a lot of the trauma that we experience, in our communities, in our lives, in our homes, in our families, that grief and trauma needs to be dealt with. We can assist as far as support and love and encouragement. This isn't to replace any kind of professional counseling or therapy, but this is a place where you can come and engage with some other folks that can love on you and share the journey with you. 12 o'clock Central Time. I promise you, you will not go away disappointed. Crazy Berry Town, Kim Possible 7-Eleven. They do an awesome job of leading us through that journey of grief. I did want to say that before we got out of here this morning. 12 o'clock tomorrow, y'all. We'll be right here. Same bat channel. Come on back and join us for Good Grief. Now, let's get this party started. Let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Just by way of information, all of our weekend events will be canceled. There will be no 2 o'clock on Sunday. There will be no 6 o'clock, Yes You with Friends, because we will be spending time with our families for Easter. So just so you know, no 2 o'clock on Sunday, no 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. We will be spending time with our families and friends. All right? Love you so much. Let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Now, it was reported to me while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, y'all. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, let me tell you, what had happened was, y'all remember that story I told you? I'm gonna start with this one right here. Y'all remember that story I told you the other day about the young black man that was out there ragging on all black women and writing all of these detrimental negative statements and comments? Crazy Berry Town, she is a streamer. If you're not following her, let her Zumba you design. That's my friend right there. Please follow Crazy Berry Town. Now listen, you all remember we had the story. Let me see if I can find the picture. I have to go back up to another day. But if y'all remember, I told you the story of the young black man who connected himself to the sister. And at the end of the day, sister, in less than 3 hours time, left him and went on out of there and stabbed the man to death. And then when they found out the story, saints, when they found the story, and listen, wasn't no glory in the story. When they found out the story, the baby had badmouthed women of color and put up all of this craziness about black women and all that black women could not do for him, and black women should be shamed, and black women and black girls. It was just a whole bunch of just spewing out of venom. Now, as the plot thickens here, or I should say twist, the turn and the event. Listen, Mel, and as she was stabbing him, he probably was crying for his mother. You know what I'm saying? As she was stabbing him to death, he's probably hollering, "Mama! Mama!" You know what I'm saying? So yes, this gentleman right here. Now, this is the twist and the turn that we have, beloved. So today it was reported to me, and I just read this, and I didn't even put it in the chat. I didn't put it in the Discord channel. I said I'm just gonna talk about it. If y'all want me to put the link out there, I can, but I've had enough of this whole scenario. So it was reported to me, and when I woke up this morning, let me tell you what the twist is. The brother is speaking on behalf of the family, children. The brother is speaking on behalf of the family of the young black man that was killed. And they're saying they want justice because this young white woman is getting white privilege and favoritism. Okay, if you didn't hear what I said, this brother of the family, on behalf of the family, is coming out and he's saying, yes, I know my brother made those statements and those posts that are out there for the whole world to see. I know that he had all of these negative and ugly things that he had to comment and say against black females. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not denying that he did that. He wrote that. He said that. But at the end of the day, Mel, at the end of the day, Rebel, BTD mom, at the end of the day, my brother is due justice. And at the end of the day, we're crying foul because this young white woman is being given white privilege and she is not being treated like everybody else would be treated in this situation. And my brother deserves justice. And what's happening is that she is now being shown favoritism and white privilege, and our family, yes, my brother said what he said, but our family demands justice because she broke the law. Karma, Mel, karma. Now, at the end of the day, I do have to say this. Justice is justice. And a young black man, I believe he was 22 years old. I believe he was 22. A young black man's life has been ended. Truck driver, what the what? A young black man's life has been ended. And so, yes, we need justice. We need justice. Come on, Tall Pumps. You're mad because your brother is dead behind his love for Karen. Now, at the end of the day, all I can say is karma. Karma, y'all. Karma. Let the church say karma. Karma is something else. Now, where I have to go is say, yes, no life. And especially our black young brothers, no life should be taken away and ended at the hands of somebody who just doesn't care. While she's out 3 hours earlier, and I'm gonna keep emphasizing the 3 hours earlier. While she's out 3 hours earlier on social media, bragging and talking She only dates black wealthy, now let me get it right because she put it in order, wealthy black men, while she's out here bragging and talking that's talk and trying to walk that walk. At the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm listening. Come on in here, Baby Bear James. So glad to have you in the room. Come on in here. Come on in here. So glad to have you. Blessings to you on this Thursday, my brother. Wealthy at 20. You know, I want to say, and at the end of the day, he is literally an African American. So he is potentially, you know, there are some wealthy Africans that come to this country to study. So he very well could have had a good level of wealth there, Mel, because at the end of the day, something ugly jumped up in my spirit, Mel. Maybe she found out he wasn't as wealthy as she thought he was, huh? I don't know. Maybe she found out he was a fraud and the mother got mad. Now, I'm just making that up for a joke, y'all. Don't y'all go out there and say, I heard in spiritual thought leader strength. No, that's not. I'm just making that up as a joke. But maybe, I'm just saying, just maybe, she found out he didn't have the money she thought he had and mother got mad. Because it seems to me that she really had an emphasis on black men with money. So at the end of the day, I just thought this was just the craziest turn of events for this brother to now come out and say, you saw the video, Stacy, where she said a guy she was with verbally chased out of a restaurant. Come on. So at the end of the day, you know, this is the end that is so sad. And when I heard that, come on, I see a hard sip coming through. Tall Pump said, watch, she plead not guilty on reason of insanity. Watch, she ain't even pulled out the tears yet. Sip real hard on it. Listen, and I got my cup. Somebody else said they got their cup. Stacy 546, I'm so glad you got your cup. Listen, get your coffee cup out. Get that Boss Energy coffee cup out and take a real hard sip on that one. Because at the end of the day, you know, anytime we get caught up and we can't find no other way out, we start pleading insanity out there. So get ready. Hi, chick, come on in here. There's my sis. So much love coming to you, and I love you. Good morning, and get that coffee cup out. So at the end of the day, y'all, I'm like, now, how much more can this story turn on itself? That, you know, and I'm gonna say it again because I still feel there's a need for a conversation in the black community why there are so many black brothers that are going out here talking and saying such nasty stuff against black women. I just want you to make it make sense. I watched a video and some footage on last night, and you know, I am a womanist theologian as well. So I'm going to bring up some points later on. I'm not going to do it today, but later on in the stream, I want to address some of those beautiful points that came out in a symposium that I was able to sit in on yesterday that just blessed my whole life. But rest assured that the times and the tides have changed. Our black brothers, whatever confusion and derision that's going on in your brain and in your mind and in your head against black women, just let me serve you notice, black women ain't having it no more. We just not having it anymore. The tides have turned and it's a different day, in case you didn't know. That being said, that's gonna take me to my next story. Cuba Gooding Jr. The brother said, ain't no need me trying to fight it. Let me just go ahead and plead guilty. The brother is pleading guilty to forcible touch. And at the end of the day, he's got some other counts against him from two other events that happened in, I want to say, October 2018, and another situation where the brother's out here just putting his hands, laying his hands on the sisters, and the sisters don't want it. Now, Cuba, what you doing, sir? What you doing? Now, this may have been tolerated back in the day, but that's why I want to follow that last story, because the tides have changed with this story. The sisters ain't having it. We're not here for you to manhandle and treat and lay your hands any kind of way with the idea that you can do what you want to do to a female and you have the right and the privilege to just have your way. No, ma'am. No, sir. It's not happening. Not in 2022. And the one thing that I have to give Cuba, come on, Mel, I'm glad he accepted his responsibility for his actions. And that's what I was getting ready to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. I'm so glad that Cuba didn't make this scenario go into a whole bunch of who shot John and this and that and the other. The man just went ahead and pled guilty. He said, hey, I did it. Let me serve and let me handle whatever goes with the crime and whatever goes with the time. I'm here for it because I'm guilty. I love it, and I like the fact, again, that we didn't have to go through a situation where we had to have this knockdown, drag out fight. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Crazy Berrytown came out. He's so lame. Listen, I don't know all of the details of this brother because I haven't really followed his career like that because he's been quiet for a minute. But shoot, he been out here laying hands on people because some of this started as far back as 2018, right on up through the current. What is the punishment though? Because he's still a black man. Let me see if I can find. Let me see. Okay, it looks like he got a plea agreement of some sort. Tall Pumps. It looks like he got a plea agreement, and it says certain things have been mischaracterized in the plea agreement, and so that's all it really said. Let me come on down. He was kissing, touching, putting his lips and hands where they didn't have no business. Ultimately, that was it. So we got charges from 2018, October. We got charges from 2019, June. We got charges coming on through October. So at the end of the day, I'm looking. He got 6 months. 6 months. So here we go. And at the end of the day, it will result in no criminal record. Come on in here, Giggles Love. Come on in here. So glad to have you with us. The plea agreement will result in no criminal record. How you do that? How you do that? How you do that? How you laying your lips and your hands on women that you have no business and you end up with no criminal record? Well, that's why we called it a plea agreement. Lord Jesus. Morris Chestnut can lay hands. Mel. Mel Holiday said Morris Chestnut can lay hands on her and she will not tell. No kissing and no telling. Y'all got me cracking up in here. Y'all got me cracking up in here. That is too much. Listen, sister ain't having it. BTD mom, sisters are not having it. Come on, take that hard sit with your pinky finger up because the sisters are reporting. Now, so then Tall Pumps, I know even we were wondering what kind of punishment did he get, but at the end of the day, Royal Confessions is in the room. Listen, Royal Confessions came in talking about so true, so true, so true. Morris can lay hands on you too. Morris can just come on through the lion's hand and just have the ministry of laying on her hands. I mean to tell you, the sisters are coming out of lurking work. Good morning to you, Royal Confessions. The sisters are coming out of lurking work to come on, lay your hands on me. They talking about Jesus. They talking about Morris Chestnut. Lay your hands on me. That's what they saying. That's what they said, y'all. That's what they said. They coming out talking about Morris. Please lay your hands on me. Lord Jesus. Is it healing touch? Is it? Because when I get that feeling. Anyway. I don't. Y'all need Jesus in this chat. Y'all need Jesus in this chat. Come on here. At the end of the day, Cuba, so there you, thank you for asking that question, because when I read it, come on, Giggles, when I read it, I didn't go all the way down. I just read the top 3 or 4 paragraphs, but I had to get down in there. I had to get down in the story to find out he's not going to have any kind of criminal record after this is over. He pled guilty, but there's no consequence to it. So there you go. So I'm telling you what, Lord, we need you right now. We need you right now, because listen, the laying on the hands that they want cheering, the laying on the hands that they asking for, they don't sound like they want no holy hands. They not trying to get holy hands laid on them. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So at the end of the day, y'all, at the end of the day, I'm just looking and I'm booking and I'm checking out. Y'all ready for the laying on of hands? Now, this story is a local story, but I loved it. And I want to talk about this just for a hot second, y'all, if you all will allow me to do so. It is a local story, but I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So this, let me see. I'm trying to see if I can blow this up. So yeah, there we go. This story right here, it's the biggest as I can get it. I loved it. So this young man, they went out on the street. Oh, they just hitting his pockets. If he paid up front, we wouldn't even know about this. And then, come on and sip real hard. Come on and sip real hard. Get your coffee cup out. Get your coffee cup out. Get your coffee cup out. Brothers need to realize they can't attend a Playboy party without repercussions. Just ask OJ. Come on. They just got to get some understanding up in here. Don't be laying your hands on people and you ain't got no permissions. Now, this story right here, I really want to see more of. And I pulled this out. Again, this is a local story here in KC Mo. But this brother that you see in the uniform with the twisties, this man was homeless off the street. A homeless man off the street. And so what they did, they have individuals from the street and maintenance department that are going out and interviewing and talking to homeless men on the streets. This brother right here, let me just read the story. He was homeless and living under the bridge. He was hired by the waste management department temporarily 7 months ago. Now this story right here, this is what I'm talking about. This story right here. He was hired 7 months ago by the waste management department. And again, they're sending from the waste management and the street department. They're going out and finding homeless men, and they might be doing women too. And let me just say homeless people literally off the streets and interviewing them and hiring them for certain positions. Now, let me tell you what they had to say about this young man that they got homeless from under the bridge here off the streets of Kansas City, Missouri. He has worked for 7 months and has not missed a single day of work. And he has never complained, not one time. And they are citing him as a young man that has come out. And I'm telling you, when you look at this story and how vigilant this young man has been and the accolades that they give him, they now have made him a permanent employee. He has benefits. He has reunited back with his family. He has a car. He has clothes to wear. All of these things that he did not have before. And this is the second chance that he has been given. And as he said, no turning back. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. No turning back. No turning back, y'all. No turning back. This story right here blessed my whole life. Blessed my whole entire natural born life. Now, I really wanted to underscore this and highlight it because, you know, a lot of times you hear people say, and you hear people that think, people are out there homeless and they don't want to work. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. This, that, and the other. I love this story because this young man showed just how much of a lie that is. Never missed a day of work. No problems, has never complained, has gotten himself in a whole different situation, because, and I got to give it up for the city of Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. We do have a black mayor, and our black mayor gets a lot of heat. Our black mayor gets a lot of heat. He really, really does. A lot of negativity for no reason. And I'm for real about that. And at the end of the day, Mayor Lucas has done an excellent job with programs like this, making sure that we go out and re-engage people back into the communities. So yes, and I can imagine even from that interview, I can imagine that yes, we are trying to see where is your head, where's your mind, but at the end of the day, how can we, for those that are out here and whatever situation in life has put you out here and made you homeless, because listen, most people, maybe some, but most people are not homeless by choice. Situations happen. And listen, there are just a few scenarios, a few steps between you in certain scenarios being homeless yourself. And in this country that we're in right now, just come on, let's keep it real. Tell the truth and shame the devil. There are a few scenarios and a few steps, just a very few, that could, if they all fail and the dominoes fell just right, you'd be out there homeless too. You'd be in a situation where you'd be looking for, how am I gonna, listen, I can't pay my light bill, I can't pay my utilities, I can't get my groceries, I can't get my medicine, I can't afford to find some place to stay, whatever the situation in case may be. I love this story about the city of Kansas City, Missouri. And in this morning, in this moment, I'm proud. I'm really proud of my city to say that this type of program exists and we're going out and we're giving people a second chance. The idea that you literally have employees working for the city, going out here scouring the streets, looking for individuals that can hold down a job if they were just given a chance. I think this is beautiful. I want to hear and I want to see more of this. I hope more cities around the country start to engage in this practice, because at the end of the day, for him to be able to reconnect now back to his family, he's reunited, to have a car and transportation that he can drive, that he has clothes that he can wear and feel good about himself. We're not talking about a handout. We're not talking, and as we used to say, listen, don't just give a person a fish because they'll be hungry again. Teach them how to fish and they'll never be hungry. These are situations and programs that I'm looking at and I'm saying, this is how we go about teaching folks how to fish. And I would venture to say probably all this young man needed was the opportunity. And so many times, you know, don't fool yourselves. I know people that are employable, very employable in high-ranking jobs that can't find a job. They cannot. They've been searching. They've been looking. They've been putting in apps. They're not just laying around. They've been putting in apps. But I'm trying to tell you, there are a lot of situations where it is very, very difficult to find a job. Even when there are scenarios of a job where it's like, oh, I'm a perfect fit for that. But they never get a call back. It's like they're not even there. So, you know, these are judgments that I want us to change our perspectives, how we look at the unemployed, as if they don't want to be employed. These are judgments that I want us to change, how we look at the homeless. I love. This brother's never missed a day, never been late, never complained. At the end of the day, that manager is so proud of him. Got it off the streets, y'all. Straight out from under the bridge. You understand what I'm saying? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I want to see so much more of that. I want to see so much more of that. I wanted to bring this story out. It's a local story, true enough, but it's a story that I think, man, now if y'all going to tell something on the national news, tell this story. Highlight this story. And again, Kansas City, Missouri, come on with that. Tell this story. Tell this story. This is a story that needs to be told and, in my opinion, replicated. Come on, Cassandra. When life brings the heat, cook with it. When life brings lemons, make lemonade. Real support is always beautiful. And that's the thing. I like you pulling out that word support, because sometimes all they need is some support from somebody else. All they need is some support from somebody that can just see them. Just see them. I was watching one of the final episodes of Blackish. I believe this is their final season. And they were having, for those of you that may be watching that show, they were having the man trip in a man cave, in a man cabin. And so the youngest son, the youngest son, because it's a son, his father, and the father's father. So that's why I say the youngest son. The youngest son walks up to his dad and he does this exercise because he's outside crying because he had a breakup. And so dad goes out there to tell him and talk to him and say, listen, man, this is a man trip. You better man up. This is you're not, what you doing out here crying and da 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 da. So he's chewing his son up for showing emotion. And so I hope that I love this episode, and I hope it helps to turn the tide in this mentality. The young man looks at him and says, man, Dad, we're out here in the middle of nowhere at a cabin with nothing but men, and men that I thought loved me. And you mean to tell me I can't cry out here in the middle of nowhere? I can't just cry out here in the middle of nowhere? So he takes his father's hands and looks him in the eye, and he takes his father's hand. Okay, DJ Onyx Heart, so much love for you. Go ahead and do what you need to do this morning. Love from the Lion's Den. He takes his father's hand, looks into his eyes, and he says, I'm told one of the most vulnerable things you can do is to look into a person's eyes and speak to them. So he takes his dad's hands and he speaks to his dad, and his dad, gets all misty eyed and he's trying to hide it and whatever. And he's like, oh my God. Then the next thing you know, here we have this bond that has happened. Thank you for following Lula Elizabeth. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Lion's Den. So the rest of the trip, man, dad and son are just linked up and talking real man-to-man talk, and so grandpa's over here looking like, these wimps. We came out here to have a man trip and da-da-da-da-da-da, and they done, oh my God. So by the end, the son, the father, let me say, goes to the grandfather and basically does the same thing. And so, grandpa's trying to fight it. But once he finally gets that opportunity and the son looks into his eyes deeply and starts talking to him, then he's all messed it up. So at the end of the day, they leave totally bonded, totally connected, with the promise, don't ever tell anybody what happened up here. What happens at the cabin stays at the cabin. You bet not tell nobody, but they leave bonded. This is the kind of stuff that I want to see more of, where we actually begin to bond back to people. Don't just leave them out there flapping in the wind, but let's bond back to people and understand that at the end of the day, even our black men especially, they need that support. They need that hand. They need that hi. That's what Gates does here in Kansas City. It's a barbecue joint. Hi, may I help you? I feel like this is the kind of energy that we need to be taking back to our black communities, and especially to our black brothers. Hi, may I help you? Because at the end of the day, for him to make his manager proud, and for us to have this story told in our local newspaper, how this brother was found under the bridge, and 7 months later, hasn't missed a day, hasn't been late, totally reunited, has his own possessions. That's what I'm talking about. Let's give that some, let's prop that up. Let's prop that up. Wow, it slumbered, slept, and slobbered. That's what happened. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, y'all. I loved it. Woo, that makes me feel good. I'm telling you, that made me feel good. It's a powerful story, BTD Mom. It's a powerful story, and that blessed my whole. And listen, while we're there, let me just go ahead and let me lay this one on you. While we're feeling good about ourselves and while we're doing good stuff, let's take a look at that. While we feeling good, let's take a look at that. Let that sink in. It's happening, y'all. It's happening. It's happening. I say. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love it. I love it. And so this is the kind of energy. Even as we talking about Cuba, stop laying your hands on women that don't want it. Yes, and to the young black man that was so nasty, come on in here, KB Browns. Good morning to you. You came in with your cup in hand. I got my cup too, brother. And my cup is running over with boss energy. Y'all better come on in here this morning. Now, that's the kind of stuff that I want us to recognize. Wow, you got black brothers out here, and God rest his soul, and the karma that has hit his family, my heart goes out to them. Yes, it really does. But at the same time, you know, I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm saying that was karma. You out here talking about black sisters and you don't want nothing but the white sisters in your riding shotgun with you, only for this chick to kill you graveyard dead. You're not only merely dead, you're really quite sincerely dead. You got somebody out here that done took your life, and then your family wants to turn around and talk about how this female is now being given treatment of white privilege and justice is not being served. How's that working for you? But while we got all of that going on, we still have so many positive things that are happening. Come on, you got to get that boss energy gear, baby. I just got word that my shirts and stuff were delivered yesterday. I got my coffee a cup over the weekend, y'all. I'm loving it. That's my boss energy, y'all. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I want to appreciate, man, there are so many of you out there that are purchasing and buying up the merchandise. I want to say thank you to you for your support as well. Now, listen, Kim Possible sent this to me the other day, and I want to play this. I want to load this up so y'all can see it. Because at the end of the day, Chris Wallace got served. She got this little clip. There's another one. There are a few of them that are out there that really kind of, she wore him out. She did. She wore him out. I'm going to show this little clip. I was hunting for it. And I'll tell you how the Lord works. I was hunting for it, y'all, and I looked in my Instagram, and it wasn't the full clip that I wanted, but it's enough of the clip to let y'all see this sister and the takedown and the smackdown that she gave Chris Wallace. And at the end of the day, you know, I just want us to have a conversation here, because listen, we need to talk about some things, and America is still not ready to deal with her racism, and we got to keep keeping this conversation on the front burner. We cannot allow this to be moved to the back burner and then completely taken off the stove where it's doing nothing. DJ Stacy Bless One, come on in here. Good morning to you. She is a streamer, y'all, and I want y'all to follow her. She will bless your whole life. I love you, baby. Come on in here. Now, this I want to highlight this because number one, look at the look on this sister's face. She ain't playing. Dr. Dady Priest, the high priestess, is in the house, y'all. I want you to know, if you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, could it be? Could it be? The devil, Diablo, and their brother Beelzebub. If you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, I want you to know that's what's going on with you. The devil got you. Listen, but I need somebody to say, repeat after me. The devil thought he had me, but I got away. Say it again. Turn to your other neighbor and tell him, neighbor, the devil thought he had me, but I got away. Now turn to that other side and tell your other neighbor, yes, I'm going to follow Dr. Dady Priest. Neighbor, the devil thought he had me, but I got away. The high priestess is in the room. Now, listen, I want y'all to listen to this exchange, this brief exchange that's going to happen between this sister. Y'all can look at her face and tell she's determined. She's determined to walk with Jesus. Yes, I am. Now, here we go.
I agree with that. I'm just not sure that I would say that if it weren't for blacks, there wouldn't be a democracy at all.
Well, We know how we got democracy. It was through a decades-long Black resistance struggle called the Civil Rights Movement. That is a Black rights struggle. So you may not like the framing, but what I can tell you is the Double V for Victory campaign was Black people were fighting in an army. They were going overseas. They were dying to liberate other countries and then coming home and being lynched for wearing their uniform. They were coming home and they could not vote. They were coming home and they could see German prisoners of war going into restaurants and being served where they could not be served.
I completely agree with all of that.
Right, but you want to treat that as a marginal to the American story. But you can't call yourself the greatest democracy and the greatest democratizing force in the country while violently and brutally suppressing democracy at home. And that's what happened for millions of American citizens.
Here's where I take some objection. You're talking about, if you say the country, that we were fighting for democracy overseas and we were not living it, walking the walk, talking the talk at home, I completely agree with you. But you specifically say the greatest generation brutally suppressing, many of this generation brutally suppressing democracy for millions of Americans. To me, and I think Tom Brokaw, when he originally wrote the book, The Greatest Generation, was talking about 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who came out of the farm fields of the Midwest, who came out of ethnic neighborhoods in Brooklyn and South Philly and stormed the beaches of Normandy and fought to defeat the worst regime, I would argue, in world history, and to say that they were 20, 30-year-olds. The country was brutally suppressing blacks, but the greatest generation wasn't.
Well, they were. I mean,
they weren't. You're telling me that a kid coming off a farm in Indiana or a kid who came from Brooklyn was suppressing
Indiana
black
had
people?
the largest population of the Klan in the United States. The Klan was
I understand, but that wasn't the 20-year-old kid who
You don't think
risked his life.
20-year-olds were in the Klan?
I agree with that. I'm just not sure that I would say that if it weren't for...
Listen, there you go, Chris. There you go, Chris. Do you not think 20-year-olds were in the Klan? Now listen, mother served him royally, because I'm going to leave that up and just let that marinate. Because listen, this, beloved, is some of what I'm addressing. Why America does not want to deal with her wicked ways. Now, at the end of the day, these men, 20-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, these young men stormed the beaches of Normandy. Now, see, this is how, and you know what, this is, and I'm not trying to be and give mockery here. I just want us to understand what this country doesn't want to realize. We're talking about these young, now mind you, white men, in his estimation, that stormed the beaches of Normandy, that went out here and fought. And did you hear him say, to stop the greatest negative regime of all time? Like white people over here killing black people like they nothing, and killing them and lynching them and tarring them and feathering them and cutting off genitalia and like they weren't monsters. But we had to go get Hitler, because Hitler was a monster. You're a monster too, sir. You're a monster too, ma'am, because this white racist killing of black people in your country while you going to somebody else's country to free them, you don't want to deal with what you're dealing. And then even for the black men, because it wasn't just white men out there storming the beaches of Normandy, there were black men out there storming the beaches of Normandy too. But then when they came home, they still had to be subjected and re-subjected to the maltreatment as if they weren't even human beings. After we went over here and fought with you, after we went over here and died with you, after we went over here and did all of this with you, to come back to our own country and continue by 20 and 30-year-olds to be mistreated, talked about, abused, killed, and maimed, and then you want to act like because they were 20 and 30-year-olds that were the greatest generation. The greatest generation of white men were still racist. But y'all went over there and took care of the worst that had ever happened, Hitler. But y'all over here, and listen, we won't even go to 3/5. We won't even go to 3/5. We won't even address that because you really didn't think we were 3/5. That was a political move. It was all about the politics. But y'all don't want to deal with that. You know, and listen, at the end of the day, when she brought up, but these are 20 and 30-year-olds operating in the same racism that you had passed down from generation to generation to generation. So at the end of the day, you know how it is this country does not want to reconcile itself with its hatred, does not want to reconcile itself with its murdering, does not want to reconcile itself with its killing of innocent people based on the color of their skin. America still doesn't want to deal with that. Mr. Chris Wallace, I need you to sit your lips, hips, and your fingertips down while you trying to disagree because you still don't want to acknowledge the wickedness of your ways. Whew, y'all. Come on, Stacey. White guys would rather think of the younger version of themselves as heroes and not villains. Come through, Stacey. And listen, I appreciate you for staying here. I appreciate you for speaking truth. I appreciate you for holding court. I appreciate you for the embracing of all of us as humanity and family, regardless of our race. I appreciate you for seeing the truth for what it is. I appreciate you, Stacey. And at the end of the day, we need more people to rise up, not just black folk, but we need white folk. We need everybody. The beaches of Normandy, is that on the south side or something? Come on, Tall Pumps. Come on, Kai Chick. She is Nicole Hannah Jones, the author of the 1619 Project. She is not to be messed with. And at the end of the day, she took him to task. And did you know, she was so cool and unbothered because and y'all notice this, you can always tell when white folk get uncomfortable with their own racism because they start getting all agitated and start getting all antsy and y'all saw how he got all worked up. Mother's still cool as a cucumber. She looked him dead in his eye because at the end of the day, do you think that 20 and 30-year-olds were not in the Klan? As she said, Indiana had the highest rate and actually reinvigorated the movement of the KKK. And isn't it interesting do you think these young men they were coming from the farms of Indiana? They were coming from the farms of Indiana, and at the end of the day, they were coming straight from KKK training. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Baby, these folk do not want to deal with the truth. Wait a minute, what did he say in the movie? You can't handle the truth. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. The truth is, even in that movie, y'all hazed and killed somebody. That's the truth. And you want to talk about how American you are, and you're looking at everybody saying you're un-American, but you out here killing people, sir. You want me on that wall, Jack Nicholson. You want me on that wall. And you're killing people wrongfully. And somehow in your twisted mind and somehow in your perverted psyche, you think you are doing it for the cause of America. Ooh, oh, he's gaslighting, having to stand up for Jewish folks again. We see it. And you, come on, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you.
You shall not pass!
I see you, Cassandra. Shall not pass. You can't even go jogging without being chased and gunned down, Kai Chick. Mother was ready for him, Rebel. Mother was ready for him. She was ready for him. Trying to keep that status. One reason the Bishop of Twitch is in the room. If you're not following one reason, please, 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 I feel my James Brown begging spirit coming over me. Please, please, please follow him because he will bless your whole life. Trying to keep that status, one reason. They do not want to release themselves from that status of trying to be, we actually are the champions. We are the champions of democracy. We are, and that's really what got him unnerved when she said it wouldn't be no democracy if it wasn't for black folk. That's what got him unnerved, because in their whiteness, yes, in their lily whiteness, they want to believe falsely we are the champions of democracy. while y'all killing black and brown bodies. And there you have it. Oh, you're not really here. Shh, you're not here. Listen, Stacey, you say he pissed you off with that first sentence out of his mouth. Ooh, and until we can come to a place, and believe me when I say this is the rhetoric that have been taught to the children and the children's children of these individuals out of the white community that want to see themselves in this shining knight in shining armor position. They want that. They don't want to let go of it. That's how they've rewritten history. That's how they've told their story. That's how they rehearse it and share it and regurgitate it generation to generation. And now that something is coming to challenge that and said, oh no, but you remember when you were killing black folks and calling them the N-word and didn't believe they had a soul, didn't believe they were real human beings, or thought they were animals and treated them like chattel. You remember that? And still doing it. We're not talking about back. Hey, I love the 1619 project. We're not just talking about all the way back in 1619. Some of this mess is going on right now.
For blacks that would...
Can we deal with that? Can we deal with the truth of the matter? Folk don't want to, hey, I'm going to say it. You can't handle the truth. And the truth is, come on here, one reason. That's why the history books don't tell the whole truth of the story, because they've got to whitewash this thing to keep that shining, gleaming image out there in front of the people. But the United States of America, if you get down to it, we should be called on human rights violations. Bam, 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 everywhere you turn. We don't want to deal with that. Y'all ain't ready for me. Thank you, Kim, for passing that on to me, because I was looking for that. And that clip, there are other versions of that clip out there as well. That was a short, abbreviated, just that one little area. This conversation and this topic was great. Do you hear me? It was absolutely great. And if you can, I want you to get out there and get a look at it, because she takes him to task. And so this, can we deal with this? So for all practical purposes, when you have somebody like a Chris Wallace, who a lot of people respect, and a lot of that because of his father, but we have somebody like a Chris Wallace who's now out here as a revered reporter. But at the end of the day, you see the essence of that rooted way down deep layers. Now, if you peel off those top layers, you can hear Chris say the rhetoric that we want to hear that sounds like he's been converted. But when you keep peeling those layers of onion back, and you really get to talking to Chris, when she hit that nerve, you know what she hit the nerve with? Black people are the reason we have democracy. He couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. No. And really what his no, and resistance is, you're not going to allow me, and I refuse to allow that white men brought democracy to planet Earth. You're not going to take that away from me. I'll let you have this. I'll let you have that. But you can't take this, because on this we stand. On this democracy, we stand flat-footed, and we shall not be moved. But you didn't even bring that. You didn't even bring. And when you get down to that level of truth, baby, they can't handle it. Cannot. And as she said, if it were not for the civil rights movement demanding that all men be created and treated equal, demanding and insisting that we still would be in the same system that we see 45 and his cronies trying to bring back today. So at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. So I love that. Thank you so much, Kim Possible. Y'all keep me loaded and stocked and ready. I appreciate all the things that you guys send to me. Yeah, you want to see that full segment. Because listen, sister is a baby. And this is the thing. When you know what you know, and you know that you know, and it's not a made up, refabricated twist of a story that you want to tell the way you want to tell it. You're not spinning a story. When you stand on the facts, only the facts, ma'am, only the facts. When you stand on the facts, you see she was unbothered. Mother looked at him like, you can squirm, you can talk fast, you can jiggle and wiggle all you want to. I know the truth. That's what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and applaud her, because, baby, she held her own. She held her own. Oh, yeah. The democracy of this America is a mockery. And it's still a mockery. I love it. I love it. I love it. Woo! Now, I'm going to show this real quick before I go into this last segment of just talking. Listen, I love me some Lexi. Lexi has to be one of the best comedians out here, and I really feel like she doesn't get her due for real. She for real. And this is the thing that I talk about with Lexi, because Lexi doesn't necessarily have to embarrass and humiliate and put somebody else down to be funny. Mother is talking about coronavirus is still out here. This one, listen, I think this may, if this came to me from Mufasa, truck driver sends me all kinds of videos, and I love him. I mean, he just has me cracking. He just has me cracking up. I want to just share this one with you before we move into our last segment of empowerment. But listen, Leslie does her good work on this one. Okay. We're not trying to shout right now. We'll get to that later on. But listen, I like how, in essence, she gives us this good, because folk think coronavirus is gone, but Lexi said, listen, corona ain't went nowhere. COVID is still here. Let the Lord use you, Lexi.
I got my war clothes on. Let's go. All victory's mine. It's mine today. Are you hiding under there, Satan? Oh, we gotta get you. Titiamaka, Satalamaka. Yeah, God. Even in the underbelly. Do it, God. Isley Brothers said between the sheets. Oh, do it for me. I was faithful on the praise team. Do it, Lord. Give me the victory, God. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Burn it up, God, with your holy fire. Burn it, God. There's none like you nowhere. Nowhere, God. Not like you. For your glory. Do it for your daughter. Do it for your daughter, God. Glory and honor belong to you. I feel the power of the Holy Ghost. Burn it out, God. The TV and another remote. Holy Ghost, fire. Just in case I use you. Do it for your daughter, God.
Baby, mother prayed down heaven because corona is still out here. And she said, when I come into the room of the hotel, it shall be, let the church say, disinfected. Disinfected. It shall be disinfected. Maybe I'm telling you, Lexi is all of that and a bag of chips. She cracks me up. But listen, that last line takes me out too, Rebel. That last line, I see disinfected. Let the church say disinfected. You shall be. Yes, you shall. Disinfected. Do it for your daughter, God. Do it for your daughter. Lexi is a whole fool. She cracks me up, y'all. And I just wanted to throw that in there because, listen, that to me, that's my kind of comedy. That's my kind of, when, and it doesn't even just have to be about church, but just the idea that you can come out. Listen, La Bocinco. Bocinco is still in the room because the spirit of Pastor Pam took y'all out the other day. I appreciate everybody that's in the Lion's Den on today. We're going to get ready to get out of here, but this is what I want to end with as we close down on this fine day. Yesterday, we had a beautiful yes, do it for your daughter, God. Do it. Every time you check your hotel. Y'all know y'all not walking up in there and just letting all those germs take you over. No, ma'am, no, sir. Cast the devil out. So at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody that's come in today. Yesterday, we were talking about, she's hilarious, Cassandra. She is just straight, flat-footed, Holy Ghost! Holy Ghost! Her and Mother Turner take me out every time. Now, I want to cover this as we go out. Yesterday, we talked, and I appreciate you for coming in. But this is where I want to really, on today, in these last few minutes, really take some time and some energy to shift gears once more and again. Yesterday, we talked about shifting gears in mental health and mental wealth, mental wholeness, talking about the idea and the realities that we actually need to come to a place where we recognize, especially in the Black community, that we have traumas and we have dramas that we have dealt with for centuries now that must be healed. We can no longer, as Royal Confession said on yesterday, laying hands on it, a quick jump shout, leaping for joy, all of that is not going to correct the problems that need to be addressed with professionals. So at the end of the day, I love the conversation we had on yesterday. It was a conversation that some people still don't want to hear. They're still not ready to have that conversation because we want that quick fix. We want that easy something that happens and mysteriously something got a hold of me. I went to the meeting one night and my heart wasn't right and something just got a hold of me. And we want that mystical, magical. Even some of us in our healing processes, we don't want to do the work. The doctor says, hey, I need you to get up and exercise. I need you to walk. I need you to get your body and your heart rate moving. And y'all still want that mystical, Lord, reach down from heaven and touch me kind of healing. And there are certain things, beloved, you're going to have to move your body. You're going to have to walk. You're going to have to exercise. You're going to have to eat right. You're going to have to rest. You're going to have to bring your body into another level of existence for this iteration of your life. So while we're talking about all of these other things that we want to get right, I also want us to get right with our money and our generational wealth. Now, when I say generational wealth, I'm not only talking about money, but generational wealth to me is also the story that needs to be passed down from grandma to the grandbaby. Your children are losing generational wealth, even in the knowledge of who I am as a family. Who did I come from? My aunt and them, my uncle and them. We've got whole families that don't even know anything about their siblings. We've got whole families that don't know anything about their parents. We've got, and I'm not joking. I mean, I literally have talked to young people who know nothing about their siblings and their parents. I've talked to young people that know, well, obviously, if they don't know anything about their situations with their siblings and their parents, they surely don't know anything about grandma and grandpa and the generations prior to them. That to me is also generational wealth. When we talk about where we've come from, where we've been, what we've seen, what we've done, we are losing our generational wealth. So please understand, when I talk about, I want us to look at breaking those generational curses and building that generational wealth. Some of what we've been calling the generational curses are really nothing more than what we talked about on yesterday. Trauma and drama that has not been healed. Trauma and drama that has not been addressed. If we really can understand that, you know, the church came in, and I'm not bad-mouthing the church, but I'm some things we need to call a spade and look at sincerely. The church came in and started teaching generational curses, and you all took that hook, line, and sinker, when in reality, some of that is strictly, listen, your daddy wasn't healed, your mama wasn't healed, your daddy was abused, your mama was abused. Come on, there's so many different things that we can put to that. And then daddy and mama both beaten, abused, and taken advantage of, and tore up from the floor up. Then they got together and married, and then they produced you, and then they recreated. Y'all talking about generational curses. We're talking about some trauma that needs to be stopped. We're talking about some trauma that at the end of the day, it's not just a matter of come up in my prayer line, let me grease you down real good, speak in tongues, spit on you, and you're gonna have a brand new life. Some of this is really the element and the essence of, you got to go back to the root cause, dig down, get to the bottom of that thing, and dig it up by the root. I'm still talking today. Is anybody listening to me? So at the end of the day, generational curses, I want us to come into another level of where we identify with that kind of phraseology. I need us to identify differently, because then, listen to what I'm saying, when we embrace that strictly from a churchy kind of perspective, we have that mindset that I'm going to get in somebody's prayer line, they're going to lay hands on me, and these generational curses are going to be broken, when nobody has dealt with the issues in your family of origin. Nobody has dealt with the issues in your personal life. And then you keep finding yourself, but I thought this generational curse was broken. Now I'm back in line again. Listen, you got to get to the root cause, because we're at a phase right now where we're breaking generational curses and we're building generational wealth. So listen, when I'm healthy, whole, and healed, then I can pass that wealth on to the next generation. When I'm no longer operating out of triggers, when I'm no longer operating out of places of PTSD that still need to be ministered and counseled through, when I'm no longer operating from low self-esteem, when I'm no longer looking for love in all the wrong places because I'm tore up from the floor up. Come on, Jesse, please. Come on in here. So much love to you. Come in the Lion's Den and we welcome you on today. When I'm no longer operating from those places, because listen, I want to impress on your mind, people are frustrated and disillusioned when they get in that prayer line. They have that pronouncement decreed and declared over them, and whether it's an amen or an ashe, they have that decreed and declared over them, but then at the end of the day, they still go back and their life is still the same. Those patterns, and pay attention to patterns. This is something that we talk about in the Institute for Higher Consciousness. We talk about patterns, even in your dreams. Pay attention to patterns, because patterns are telling you something. Patterns are telling you something. There are patterns that happen in our family system. There is, when I was going through school, one of the classes that I really loved, the concentration was in addiction and addiction counseling. So one of the classes that I really, really loved was called Family Sculpting. I loved that class. It was a weekend class that I looked forward to that class every weekend. And you think, oh my God, it's my weekend, this is my time off. I look forward to that class more than I did my regular classes, because what they did, they actually took the time to sculpt, and they identified, okay, you got the performer in your family, you got the scapegoat in your family, because whether you believe it or not, and I want y'all to hear me real closely, I'm talking about breaking generational curses. Sometimes that child that y'all keep labeling the bad child, that child is the scapegoat. Hear me when I say this, and I love this in my class when they brought this out. And it starts early. It starts very, very early. And when that child realizes, and when I say that, realizes, when that child, what do I want to say? I want to use something other than realize, because sometimes they don't even realize they've been made the family scapegoat. Did you hear what I said? They've been made the family scapegoat. Every time something happens, it's their fault. Every time something happens, the weight and the energy comes to them, whether they had something to do with it or not. And then you have the family hero that they can do no wrong. I don't care what happens. Good morning, Barbara Hardy. Good morning to you. That's my friend, my friend, my friend. Come on in here and sit down with me. The family system theory, baby. Every family has the same characters. Kim Possible. That's what you learn when you go through family sculpting. Every family has the same characters. And you can sit down, and if you back up and really look at it, you can see who's been assigned what roles in that family system. And so, after a while, once you, without realizing it subconsciously, but you assume that role. And I'm gonna go back to the family scapegoat, because some of y'all need to go back to the family scapegoats and give them some love, because baby, they've been getting bombarded for years. They've been getting blamed for years. They've been getting dogged out for years. But all of this is about that family system that sets people up for certain roles. And then once they take that role on subconsciously, they take that role on, then we got the self-fulfilling prophecy that starts manifesting. This is what y'all think of me. This is what I'm going to do. This is what y'all say I am. This is what I'm going to be. This is what y'all believe how I'm going to respond. I'm not going to let you down, and I'm not going to disappoint. So we get behaviors that start acting out. We get behaviors that start manifesting. We get behaviors that start showing up consistently because you're fitting into that family system's role. And I need us to begin to identify very, very clearly. And I promise you, as Kim Possible said, every family has those characters. You just got to figure out who's playing what role. Understand me? You got to figure out who's playing what role. And so at the end of the day, you have so many things that the pattern and the system never changes right on up into old age. Don't y'all think that I'm talking about something that just happens when you're young, something that just happens when you're in adolescence and childhood and then early adulthood. Some folks still go through these same family systems when they get together at 50, 60, 70, and 80 because that family system has never changed. Am I talking to anybody? That family system has never changed. Then y'all want to get in the prayer line and start saying, oh, these generational curses that are over my family. Baby, those are trauma, drama, areas, situations that need to be healed. And it's not generational curses like y'all want to put. The devil done crept up in my family and no, some of that is merely a matter of we've got a family system that is broken. We've got a family system that needs to be healed. We've got a family system that needs to declassify the individuals that are carrying certain roles and walking in certain places. We got to take Jim Bob out of being the scapegoat. Jim Bob needs to come out of being the scapegoat. Jim Bob is tired. Jim Bob was tired when he was a little kid of being the scapegoat. And what you saw him operating the rest of his life, he's frustrated. He's frustrated. He's irritated. He's wounded. He's hurt. He's disillusioned because why I always got to be the scapegoat? And at the end of the day, then you want to say, well, why is Jim Bob out here using drugs? Why is Jim Bob out here stealing? Why is Jim Bob out here doing all of these things? We just don't understand where that behavior came from. Jim Bob has been the scapegoat for your family ever since Jim Bob been in this world. Jim Bob is confused. Jim Bob is delusional. Jim Bob doesn't know who he is, and he's carrying out the expectations that the family has set up in that family system. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me today. I must really be in a rough space. But at the end of the day, we are looking at breaking generational curses. Those generational curses that we're talking about breaking, I'm going to say it once more and again, I'm not getting in your prayer line to break that generational curse. Y'all, as a whole family, probably need to go to counseling. And if the whole family won't go, you probably just need to go by yourself. You just need to get your lips, hips, and your fingertips up. And if you can't get everybody into therapy, let me just work on me. Because at the end of the day, now that I'm grown, and I'm telling you, I still share and counsel with people in adulthood. I'm talking about 40s, 50s, and 60s that are now tired of their broken family system. They're tired of this family sculpture that always repeats itself every time they gather and get together. It's almost like automatic pilot. It just goes right on back into the same film. It's that same documentary that just keeps replaying. It started replaying when we were children. It kept replaying that same video when we were teenagers. It kept replaying when we were young adults. Now at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, it's still replaying. And some of y'all at the point now, when y'all have the family get together, you like, I already know I'm going to take my carry out tray. I'm going to fix my plate. I'm going to be in there 10 minutes because at 15 minutes every time it pops off. Come on, y'all know I'm telling the truth. At 15 minutes every time it pops off. So I'm going to be there for the first 10 because I know that first 10, and it starts getting rocky and it starts boiling in that first 10. But I should have my take out plate ready by then. By the time it actually gets to boiling and boiling, my plate should be fixed. I'll be blowing kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you, love you, love you. And I'm out of here because you know at 15 minutes sharp, it's about to blow up. So at this point of volcanic reaction in the family, I plan to have my lips, hips, and fingertips out of here. I'm trying to get you to understand that ain't no generational curse. That is a situational scenario of a family that needs healing. Are y'all hearing me? A family that needs healing. So at the end of the day, I want you to come to a place where we're saying we're building families. And listen, before we start talking about building the communities and building the neighborhoods and building our cities and our counties and our state and the federal, fix your family. Can we go there? Fix your family. At least try. Do what you can. Get yourself together. Get your family together. Because listen, if we can come together and I can look at my siblings, I can look at my parents, and we can stop this volcano from erupting every time we get together. If we can stop that volcanic reaction, then we can see some changes start to take place in the whole world. So we don't just talk about being, talk about change. I need you to be the change. So when we start looking at breaking generational curses, it's not, again, I keep saying this because some of y'all got this down in your shondo. It's not about going and getting in that prayer line and asking the saints to pray with you because you want to break this generational curse off of your family. You got to get your lips, hips, and your fingertips up, and you got to do something. Work out your soul salvation. Yes, when I say work out your soul salvation, I'm saying get a therapist, get a counselor, get a coach, get somebody. And I'm going to say it once more and again. If you're at that age and stage where you can't make anybody do something that they don't want to do, I get it. But listen, if you won't, and if they won't participate in the healing, get yourself healed. Get yourself together. Give yourself tools that you can counter and counteract. We talk about that also. We address that within the Institute for Higher Consciousness. If you got fire, we come from the 5 elements theory. If you got fire and you need fire is consuming the energy in the room, you got a high percentage of fire, and you need to temper that down. Then you got to understand, how do I move in my element of water? How do I move in my element of earth that can possibly suppress the fire? You don't give fire air. And see, if you understand the 5 elements theory, and you know how to counter yourself, and if you understand what air all entails, yes, y'all got to take the class to get to understand it, but if you understand what air entails, then I know I can't come at fire that's already blazing and out of control and give it more air. It's just gonna make the fire blow up. So I gotta either come with some water, or I gotta come with some earth in my reaction. I gotta come with one of those elements to be able to counteract the fire that wants to take over the room. This is why I'm saying to you, these are places that we got to learn how to adjust, how to adapt, how to deal with scenarios so that we don't keep walking and recreating this same problem over and over. And then y'all want to get in the prayer line, the devil in my family, he done brought generational curses, and what was in my family now done went down to my children and my children. Of course it's going to. If you don't deal with it, it will deal with you. Don't think that it's going to suddenly just stop out of the clear blue because somebody prayed a prayer of incantation over your life. It doesn't work like that, babies. There is work that you're going to have to do to address your stuff, to get your stuff right. So at the end of the day, you got pastors in the pulpit, their families tore up, and they came from tore up family, and their grandchildren are now tore up. It's just, and then, hello, I need y'all to deal with me. We're talking about breaking generational curses. We talking about, come on, Michelle Brownell, I love you. Good to see you. I'm talking about how are we going to deal this in a way that we can now build generational wealth. And I'm going to tell you, mental wealth, emotional wealth, spiritual wealth, not just money. And yes, I do want you to build financial wealth, but don't think that that's that's the only wealth that you have. There's so much more to wealth. And then I'm going to say it again, ancestral wealth. Some of you have lost anything and everything about your ancestors. You don't know anything about your extended family. Used and challenged, come on in here. So I want us to understand, good morning to you. So good to have you. I want us to understand when we start talking about generational wealth, baby, it covers a wide gamut of things. Don't just lock into, I want money, because listen, money's not going to make your family better. Money, if anything, is going to exacerbate and expand the problems that you already have in your family. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You can make all the money in the world. You can be Will Smith. You can be Jada. You can have money. You can have awesome kids. But if you haven't worked out your family system problems, those problems will just expand and explode and become really, really magnified for everybody to see the problems that are in your house, because a problem is a problem whether you got money or not. So I want us to understand this. When we start talking about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth, we've got to expand our thinking. We've got to expand our understanding of boss energy. I'm not going to allow this to continue to pass on to the next, and then pass on to the next, and then pass on to the next. I'm going to take all of the information. I'm going to take all of the energy. I'm going to take all of the frequency. I'm going to take all of the light. I'm going to take all of the power. I'm going to take all of the elements of matter. I'm going to take all of everything that I have in my arsenal to actually begin to give something new to the generation that will follow me. Because listen, the buck stops here. It doesn't have to keep going. It doesn't have to keep manifesting. Same. No, ma'am, no, sir. The buck stops here. And I'm not talking about what's going to happen. It's happening. I need you to get that down in your shondo right now. I have the power to break this cycle. I have the power to end this right here. I have the power to actually make a new narrative, not spin it and tell it a different way, but I have a power that has the ability, that's my boss energy. I have the power to literally change and shift the trajectory to a whole nother reality. You have the power to do that. Yes, we do. And it only takes one. Do you understand what I'm saying? I would love it if everybody would buy into the concept, but somebody's not. That's okay. You do it for you. You do it for the loved ones in your life. You make the shift. You make the change. You interact differently. You present differently. And this is what I want you to understand. When people see power, real power, when people see boss energy, when people see that you're different, when people see that you walk in authority, when people see that you're not following the family system, you're not sculpted, you're not following that family sculpture, you're actually presenting and doing something different. I promise you, when people see you walk in that power, they're going to want what you have. I promise you, when you start moving in that kind of space and place, they're going to want what you have. I promise you, when they start seeing the results that you are getting, they're going to want what you have. I promise you, when they see that you are actually a model that they can look at and say, if they did that, I can do that too. If they did that, I can shift too. If they did that, then I can move in that energy too. When they start seeing that's how you move. Listen, when I move, you move just like that. When you can start to model so the people can actually begin to make the shift. Yes, I want you to make a shift. I want you to, get out of first gear. I need you to shift. I need you to go up and get all the way into overdrive. Because at the end of the day, we going somewhere. And we not in here trying to go 5 miles, 10 miles. Baby, I need you to shift into overdrive. Because we out here on the Autobahn. We out here on the highway of life. And we are making a change. I need you to shift. And when you shift, I promise you, somebody's going to want to come get in the car and ride with you. When you shift, I promise you, you're going to pick up some passengers along the way. And if enough of us shift, you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? When enough of us shift and we start breaking those generational curses and we start building generational wealth, baby, ain't nobody able to hold us back. Nobody can stop us. Nobody can block us. Nobody can make us stay in the position that we're in. The only one that can hold you down is you. The only one that can hold you back is you. The only one that can keep you in a defeated, unproductive place is you. You're the only one that can do it, baby. You're the only one that can do it. I need you to shift. I need you to shift. I need you to shift. Because at this point, we're very serious about this. We are breaking generational curses. And we're building, break and build, break and build, break and build. We're breaking generational curses and we're building generational wealth. That's what I want you to take away this morning. Now, yesterday we talked, oh man, that conversation yesterday, y'all blessed me so. That conversation that we had yesterday, understanding how to come out of mental illness and mental sickness and to cross the street over into mental health and mental wellness. That's where we are, y'all. That's where we are. And we can continue to talk and talk and talk and talk. We can continue to talk about all these things, y'all. Come on, Kai Chick. Excuse me. Come on, Kai Chick. You in there, girl. Do your thing. Work your jelly. We can continue to talk and talk and talk and talk. But at the end of the day, I need us to come to another reality. I need us to listen, do something to get off the pot. This continuous conversation that's unproductive and yields no fruit. No. And I'm gonna say it right here, just like I said earlier, y'all, just from the very element of we get in the prayer lines and expect a good greasing down of oil and laying on the hands is going to break our generational curses in our family. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. You got to work your jelly. You're going to have to change patterns. You're going to have to change dynamics. You're going to have to change systems. Am I talking to anybody in here? I'm going to say it again. You're going to have to change patterns. You're going to have to change dynamics. You're going to have to change systems that are in place. That's how you break generational curses. And then begin to build. Is anybody with me this morning? Then begin to build. And I said, I want generational wealth to include your ancestral. Your family knows nothing about your history. Somebody go back to the archives. Somebody needs to go visit Aunt Bertha. Somebody needs to go visit Aunt Bertha. Not to just drop in for 5-10 minutes or whatever. Let Aunt Bertha talk. Let Aunt Bertha talk. Because I bet you Aunt Bertha got some stuff to tell you, baby. Aunt Bertha got some family history, child. Ain't nobody told. The good, the bad, the ugly. The ability to have an ancestral wealth. Because it's going to be a sad thing. And I know a lot of times we don't think about this. When your children grow up and they know nothing at all. I was talking, I went to a council meeting and I was the only person of color there. And they got to talking about ancestry. Baby, when I tell you these folks go all the way back to my Norse family when they were in Scandinavia and blah, 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 blah. I listened to these people and I understood what our slave masters did to us. These people have a rich heritage of ancestry that even now through the 12th and 13th generation, I was listening to these people, I was just astounded. 15, 20 generations. And they talk that talk. because it's a grounding in ancestry. I'm talking to somebody this morning. There's a grounding in ancestry. And so what the slave masters did was to cut us loose from our groundedness. And most of us can't follow our ancestry just since our feet been on this continent. We surely cannot go back to before because we were robbed of that. But beloved, start where you can and go back as far as you can and understand, because that's why I said to our young men, I want you to know your ancestors were kings. To our young women, I want you to understand your ancestors were queens. I need you to have a connection to your ancestry because there's wealth in that, baby. There's wealth in that, knowing who you are and where you've come from. Then I want you to look at the emotional, the psychological, the physiological. Come on. I want you to start breaking that generational curse. Diabetes doesn't have to run in your family. It doesn't have to dominate everybody's life. And I do know that some diabetics, there's a metabolic thing that's going on in your body that, but there are certain things that, baby, change of lifestyle, change of exercise, change of diet. Some of those things will change many of those things for those that don't have, where your body has just created a scenario that you cannot control. I don't denounce, but there is that place where we got to say, okay, what can I? Everybody doesn't have to have high blood pressure in your family. Everybody doesn't have to have high blood pressure and heart disease in your family. Is baby, what are you eating, child? What are you eating? And some of us need to just stop and say, do I drink enough water? Because I plan to break the generational curse where automatically we're the sickest people in the country. No, I'm tired of being the sickest people in the country. And if I can't see a doctor and you won't give me money for health care, what do I need to do to get out here and hump for myself to make myself healthy? What do I need to read, honey? Where do I Google it, baby, Google it. What do I need to read to figure out if I've got a potential for this? How do I counter that? Okay, I'm done because I'm probably it's 9:01, y'all. Y'all quiet on me today. Few of y'all talking to me. KB Browns, work that jelly. Grape, strawberry, and peach, work all of it. Kai Chant, Kim Possible, come on here. Y'all hear me talking up in here? I'm talking real talk. Because we're ready to break generational curses, and it's time for us to build generational wealth that we're going to pass from generation to generation to generation to generation, and to your children and to your children's children, and to as many as the Lord your God shall call. Are you listening to me this morning? That's what I wanted to share with you today. I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for participating. But listen, we're ready to break all of those generational curses. And again, not from a prayer line, but do the work. And secondly, let's build generational wealth. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Oh, I
feel for my brother and I feel for my sister. This has been one more edition of Yes You on Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I appreciate you for dropping into the Lion's Den today. Now, what did we talk about today, baby? We're breaking generational curses and we're building generational wealth, all kinds of it. Yes, we are. Now, I want you to come on here, and I appreciate everybody that came in the Lion's Den today. I love you so much, even for those that are lurking and working, and like my bishop, one reason, who's not really here. I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den and spending this time with me, and I invite you to follow me because I'm out there. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more, y'all. I'm out there. And you know, while we're out there, we have a mantra that we put forth. We don't have a spirit of fear. We don't have a spirit of intimidation. Even when we start talking about breaking generational curses, don't be afraid. Don't think I can't do it. It's too much for me. I can't do it alone. I can't handle it. I want you to be like Sherman. Sherman. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. That's what I want you to say. Our mantra, we're not of a spirit of intimidation or fear. We have power. We have love. We have a sound mind. And I am all powerful in love. So guess what? Those generational curses, broken. Yes, they are. And we're not just talking about change, but I want you to be the change. And at the end of the day, it's us, you, me, we all, because we all came in here and we came to support, love, and encourage one another. This pride, Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. Thank you for following Armed and Armored. I ain't mad at you. Come on in here and welcome to the Lion's Den. Now listen, I want you all to please copy the raid message, because we're going to go share some love someplace else. I love you, one reason. Follow all of these awesome streamers that are in. Please do. They will bless your whole life. Now, in the meantime, I got to give credit where credit is due. You know how I do it up in here. I appreciate everybody that's come into the Lion's Den. There's some special folk that come in and do some special things. Tall Pumps, thank you for the lion's roars. Come on, King Coogee. Thank you for the lion roaring, the roaring biddies. I appreciate you for that. Michelle Browno, the Rebel Inc., Shelly Thunder, these three beautiful women, man, I mean to tell you, they hold it down in the Lion's Den. Armed and Armored, thank you for following. Lulu Elizabeth, thank you for following. And come on in here, used and challenged 24/7. Thank you so much for following. I love you. And you know how we say it when we get up out of here. The last words I always want you to hear come out of my mouth. Peace for your journey.
For my brother, I won't forget you, no. I feel for my brother.